Welcome back to Watcher Realms. This is going to be my guide for Chapter 916. It's definitely a fight that's on the longer side, so we'll kind of just see how that goes. The way that I do it anyway, it was definitely on the longer side. There may be some better ways to do it, but this is the way that worked best for me. So I'm using 3 tanks, 2 healers. I've got a couple range fighters. If you don't have range fighters, you can use other mages or marksmen or whatever to get out damage, and then a couple mages. So we will jump into it. Try and keep this little intro here really short because it is, like I said, it is a longer fight. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my Baron down here at the bottom to guard those coming towards the portal because he is my weakest tank. And then next, I'm going to put Olag down once the boss kind of moves into that square. That'll be more important later. So I'm going to block the boss with Olag. Then I'm going to put down an Elwyn to heal him. Any healer should work just fine. And then my Baron's starting to take some damage, so as soon as Vortex is up, we'll get Vortex down. And then I'm going to put an Arrogance behind him. You could use like a mage or something. Like you could put one maybe here, one here facing down, whatever. I just used Arrogance because I have him and he worked. Now we've got the guys coming across the top. So I'm going to use Regulus to tank those because they do hit, pretty hard. We'll wait just a second, and then I'm going to use Nocturne, like facing up here. You could use a different mage, and that's fine. And then I'm going to drop Zillitu behind. Obviously, if you don't have a Zillitu, you could put another mage, maybe to the right of Regulus over there, or something like that, and to do some damage, and that would be fine. Now we'll use an alt pretty much immediately, because they do a lot of damage. I just got to watch Elwyn up there, make sure she doesn't die. And then basically that's this part. So now it is just how long does it take to get everything killed? And then we just basically watch and, use people's ults as they get closer. Definitely want magic on those big golems. I'm pretty sure a Piercer's not really going to do much to them. You can use a Piercer or someone like Arrogance on the bottom, and that's fine because they don't have crazy defense. But yeah, those golems, that's not going to work. So basically I'm just alternating ultimates between Zillitu and Nocturne to get rid of those guys as fast as I can. And in the meantime, just making sure that Elwyn stays heals up there. I'll use her heal if she starts to get really low. Or her Wood Elf. I would imagine if you were using like Medan or someone like that up there that heals himself a little bit better, it'd actually probably be easier. Mine's just not built. Use what you got, that's for sure. It's really more about just kind of understanding what you're trying to accomplish as far as having magic damage to deal with the golems, having something to handle the bottom. I'm sure there's other ways to do this. I tried a couple different ways, but it seemed like if the boss was allowed to kind of roam free, that was basically just a loss for me. I don't know if it's not having enough characters for burst damage or whatever, but I just could not get her down. And then of course, once you do start getting her down, she'll do, switch over to fire mode and do a massive AoE. And if she was down here in the middle somewhere walking through when she did that, it would just wipe my whole team, and it was no fun. So we've got these last 3 coming in, and then after that, it will basically just be working on the boss, which for me ended up being just throwing people at it. Because she will pick them off one by one, and of course, like I said before, the big fire AoE is gonna take some people out. It's not really a whole lot you can do about that. I mean, you can kind of guard against it a little bit, and I was doing that with Regulus, just trying to pop his big shield beforehand, and that kind of helped, but it only does so much, unfortunately. So that's gotten all those down. Now we can start despawning people. We don't need them down there anymore. Nothing else to come. And we'll go ahead and just throw Pyros up here, let him start doing some damage. Obviously he's going to die pretty quick. Should be able to have Setram reach. Yeah. That's kind of why I wanted to wait until she walked into that square, because it does buy you a little bit of extra range. And then once Vortex comes down, we'll Vortex up to help cover Elwyn. There was the fire nuke. People dying as expected. And then now, Scylla2 should reach from here. Throwing Arrogance up there just to pester a little bit. Maybe a Nocturne. Then throw Regulus down here. I don't know if he's really going to do much. Oh, Elwyn died. That was that stupid freeze. Forgot about that. It says Oleg's still in there, but I don't see him. Yeah, he's still in there. And this is where all that, the fire dot and everything is just so annoying. So as you can see, I'm just throwing people at the boss. Just anything to get more damage out. Oh no, she's switching again. And then they die again. This is just kind of how it goes. But we're down to the last 10%. It really doesn't matter. And this should do it. And that's it. So you can definitely look, see what you have, what may work. Like I said, I find that kind of cornering the boss up there in the top left-hand corner is the easiest way to do it. It allows you to handle everything else on the map without letting her run around and wreak havoc. And then once that's done, then you can just throw things at the boss. You could probably despawn your tank and let her walk out a little bit, which would open up some more platforms and give you some more places where you could put people down. But then of course you still got to find a way to heal them and everything else. So like I said, whatever works. It's one of those fun ones. You only really got to beat it once and then move on. So that is all for today. I hope it helps.